Have you ever looked at the palm of your hand and noticed an unusual marking? Perhaps a distinct M shape formed by the lines of your palm? You might have glanced at it before and dismissed it as just another natural pattern, something random with no real significance. But what if it's not just a coincidence? What if this marking carries a profound meaning, a message meant specifically for you? Throughout history, humanity has sought signs, clues that point to a higher purpose, a deeper connection to the divine. Sometimes, these signs are hidden in plain sight, waiting to be recognized. As someone who has spent years studying ancient wisdom and spiritual insights, I've uncovered fascinating truths about the human body and the messages it holds. Many of these markings, often overlooked, reveal secrets about our purpose, our destiny, and the unique path we are meant to follow. Today, we're diving into one of the most intriguing symbols of all, the mysterious M on your palm. Could it be more than just a natural crease in your skin? What if this marking is a spiritual sign, an indication that you have been chosen for something greater? In this video, we will explore its biblical and spiritual significance, unravel what it might reveal about your journey, and understand why this small detail could hold the key to your true calling. Before we begin, I invite you to be part of this journey. If you're someone who seeks deeper understanding about life's mysteries, make sure to subscribe to this channel and turn on notifications so you never miss a new video. And if you've ever noticed an M on your palm or have questions about its meaning, share your thoughts in the comments. I would love to hear your story. Now, let's take a closer look at this hidden message. Could the purpose and clarity you've been searching for have been in the palm of your hand all along? Let's find out. Have you ever wondered why certain markings appear on our bodies? From birthmarks to scars, from freckles to the intricate lines on our hands. Different cultures and traditions throughout history have viewed these features as more than just biological traits. Many believe they hold spiritual significance, acting as signs of destiny, divine purpose, or hidden messages from a higher power. The Bible itself contains references to physical marks carrying profound meaning. One of the most well-known examples is found in the book of Genesis. After Cain took the life of his brother Abel, God placed a mark upon him, not as a punishment, but as a sign of protection, ensuring that no one would harm him. This mark, described in Genesis 4 verse 15, was a divine signal, a physical representation of a spiritual reality. Now, consider the M on your palm. Could it be one of these divine signs? What if it indicates a unique calling, a destiny that is already set in motion, waiting for you to step into it? Throughout the Bible, we see individuals marked for a purpose, chosen to fulfill roles that would shape history. But what if these marks aren't limited to ancient figures? What if the same principle applies today? The markings on your palm could be more than just lines. They could be a modern echo of an ancient truth, a reminder that you are here for something significant. In this video, we will connect these ideas and uncover what the M on your palm might mean for your spiritual journey. Could it be a symbol that you, like many before you, have been chosen for something extraordinary? Stay with me, because the answers may surprise you. To understand the significance of the M mark on your palm, we must look at the lives of two remarkable biblical figures, Moses and Solomon. Their stories hold profound lessons about divine purpose, leadership, and the symbolic marks that set them apart. Let's begin with Moses, one of the greatest leaders in biblical history. His very name begins with the letter M, and his life was marked by divine intervention from the start. As an infant, he was placed in a basket and sent down the Nile, only to be rescued and raised in Pharaoh's palace. But his true calling came later, through a miraculous sign, the burning bush. In Exodus 3, Moses encountered a bush engulfed in flames yet not consumed by fire. From within, God spoke, calling him to lead the Israelites out of slavery in Egypt. But Moses hesitated. He doubted his abilities, questioned his worth, and feared he was not the right person for the task. Does this sound familiar? Have you ever felt unworthy or incapable, even when everything seems to be pointing you toward a higher purpose? The M mark on your palm could be your burning bush, a divine sign that you are called to lead, to guide, or to fulfill a special mission. Just as Moses overcame his doubts and stepped into his destiny, perhaps this mark is a reminder that you too are meant for something greater. Now, let's turn to Solomon, known for his unmatched wisdom. In 1 Kings 3 verses 5 to 12, God appeared to Solomon in a dream and granted him one request. Instead of wealth or power, Solomon asked for wisdom to lead his people. Pleased with his humility, God not only granted him wisdom but also riches, honor, and a legacy that would endure for generations. What if the M on your palm represents a gift of wisdom, leadership, or spiritual insight? A sign that you possess an intuition that can illuminate the path, not only for yourself but for others as well. The Bible teaches us that such gifts come with responsibility. They are not given lightly but entrusted to those who are meant to use them for the greater good. The M mark on your hand could signify that wisdom, guidance, or a unique calling has been placed upon you. Consider the parallels. Moses was a reluctant leader, yet he freed an entire nation. Solomon sought wisdom, and his legacy still shapes the world today. Now, look at your own life. Could the M mark on your palm be a symbol that you too have been chosen for something significant? The stories of Moses and Solomon show us that divine marks, whether physical or symbolic, often indicate a greater purpose. They are reminders of the power and potential that lie within us, waiting to be realized. So, the question is, will you embrace this sign, or will you dismiss it as mere coincidence? Stay with me, because in the next part, we will explore how this mark relates to your spiritual journey and the path only you can walk. The answers may change the way you see yourself forever. The hidden meaning of the M on your palm. Throughout history, certain signs and symbols have been seen as divine messages, guiding individuals toward their true purpose. From the burning bush of Moses to the wisdom granted to Solomon, biblical figures have often received physical or spiritual signs marking them as chosen for a greater mission. But what if one of these signs is literally in the palm of your hand? For centuries, cultures around the world have studied palmistry, believing that the lines on our hands reveal aspects of our character, destiny, and spiritual journey. But beyond superstition, could there be a biblical and spiritual significance behind these markings? One of the most intriguing and mysterious marks is the M-shaped pattern that appears on some people's palms. Could this be a divine sign that sets certain individuals apart, just as God marked prophets, kings, and leaders throughout Scripture? In this journey, we will explore the biblical connection to this mark, what it might reveal about your spiritual path, and how the greatest leaders in Scripture shared a similar symbolic mark, one that distinguished them for something greater, a mark of leadership and wisdom. If you have an M on your palm, you may have noticed something unique about yourself. You have a natural intuition, a deep sense of knowing when something is right or wrong. You may often find yourself in positions of leadership, even when you don't seek them out. Others turn to you for guidance, sensing that you carry a unique wisdom. Does this sound familiar? If so, you are not alone. Many believe that the M mark represents individuals chosen for leadership, wisdom, and divine insight. In Scripture, those who carried divine marks or unique callings often felt unworthy or hesitant at first. Consider Moses, who doubted his ability to lead the Israelites, or Gideon, who was called a mighty warrior yet saw himself as weak. But their mark of destiny was not something they chose, it was something given to them by God. And despite their doubts, they ultimately stepped into their true purpose, fulfilling a mission far greater than themselves. Could the M on your palm be a similar calling, a mark that signifies you were meant for something greater? The biblical connection. Signs of the chosen. The Bible is full of references to marks, symbols, and divine signs placed upon those who were chosen for an important mission. Cain's mark, Genesis 4 verse 15. A sign given by God to protect and set him apart. The mark of the forehead, Ezekiel 9 verse 4. A distinguishing sign placed on those who remained faithful to God. The seal of God, Revelation 7 verse 3. A mark given to those who belong to him. Although these marks vary in meaning and purpose, they all serve one key function: to identify those who have a significant role to play in God's plan. What if the M on your palm serves a similar purpose? Not as a literal biblical mark, but as a symbolic reminder of the unique gifts you have been entrusted with. Think about it. Have you ever felt a strong inner calling, a sense that you were meant for something more? Do you often find yourself in situations where you are the one people turn to for advice or guidance? Have you ever had moments where your intuition seemed almost supernatural, guiding you toward the right decision? These traits are not random. They are consistent patterns in those who are meant to lead, guide, and bring wisdom to others. A mark of spiritual awakening. Beyond leadership, the M mark is often linked to those who have a deep spiritual connection. Many who have this mark report feeling drawn to higher truths, having powerful moments of intuition, or sensing that their purpose in life is different from others around them. Could this mark be a reminder that you were placed here for a reason? To grow in faith, to lead others toward truth, and to fulfill a divine calling? Jesus often spoke about having eyes to see and ears to hear, Matthew 13 verse 16. This wasn't just about physical sight, it was about spiritual awareness. The Bible teaches that not everyone recognizes the signs that are right in front of them. Many dismiss their gifts, callings, or divine nudges as coincidences or accidents. But those who are spiritually aware, who listen to that inner voice, are the ones who walk in alignment with their destiny. The question is, will you recognize this sign and embrace its meaning, or will you ignore it? Unlocking the purpose of the M on your palm. If you have this mark, what should you do? Pay attention to your intuition. The Bible often describes divine guidance as a still small voice, 1 Kings 19 verse 12. If you feel nudges, gut feelings, or moments of insight, listen to them. They could be guiding you toward the path you're meant to follow. Step into leadership with confidence. Just as Moses doubted himself, many who are called to leadership feel unprepared. But God doesn't call the qualified. He qualifies the called. If you've been given opportunities to lead, don't shy away from them. Deepen your spiritual connection. Those with the M mark often feel a strong pull toward spirituality, wisdom, and purpose. If you've been sensing this, it's time to seek God, study His Word, and strengthen your faith. Use your gifts for good. If you have the ability to guide others, bring wisdom, and offer insight, use it wisely. Many biblical figures were given gifts that impacted entire nations. Your role, however small it may seem, is just as important. The mark of destiny. Will you embrace it? By now, you may be wondering, what does this mark really mean for me? The truth is, only you can answer that. The Bible teaches us that we are all given signs, callings, and opportunities, but it is up to us to recognize them. Moses could have ignored the burning bush. Solomon could have asked for riches instead of wisdom. But they embraced their calling, and in doing so, fulfilled a divine purpose that shaped history. Perhaps the M on your palm is not just a quirk of nature. Perhaps it is a reminder that you, too, have a role to play. So the final question is, will you step into your purpose, or will you let this mark remain just a mystery? The M on your palm. A hidden message or just a coincidence? If you've made it this far, you're probably wondering, is the M on your palm truly a divine sign? Or is it just a random feature of human anatomy? To answer this, we need to look at how God speaks to us. The Bible is filled with subtle signs, divine markings, and hidden messages that only those with spiritual awareness can truly recognize. Think about this. When Moses saw the burning bush, others might have walked past it without a second thought. But Moses recognized the sign and stepped forward. When Joseph had prophetic dreams, some might have dismissed them as meaningless. But Joseph knew they carried a message from God. When Jesus performed miracles, some people saw proof of His divinity, while others ignored them. The point is, spiritual signs are often overlooked by those who aren't paying attention. So let's ask again. If you have an M on your palm, could it be more than a coincidence? Could it be a reminder that you have been chosen for something greater, a sign of leadership, wisdom, and spiritual awareness? If you're still unsure, let's take a deeper look at what this mark could mean for your soul's journey, your purpose, and your connection to the divine. The mark of those who are meant to lead. Throughout history, those who carried divine marks were often leaders, prophets, and wise men and women who were called to guide others. Moses led the Israelites out of slavery. Solomon led with wisdom that surpassed all others. David, though just a shepherd boy at first, was chosen to be king. But here's something important. None of them saw themselves as leaders in the beginning. Moses said he wasn't a good speaker. Gideon doubted himself and questioned why God chose him. Jeremiah thought he was too young to be a prophet. Yet God doesn't choose people based on how qualified they feel. Instead, He marks those He knows have a mission, even if they don't see it yet. So ask yourself, have you ever been placed in a position of leadership, even when you didn't ask for it? Do people naturally turn to you for advice or guidance? Have you felt a deep sense of responsibility to help others, even when it's difficult? If you answered yes, then the M on your palm might not be random at all. It could be a mark of leadership, a reminder that you were born to guide others, whether through wisdom, teaching, or simply by setting an example of faith. The connection between the M and spiritual intuition. Another theory about the M on the palm is that it is connected to heightened intuition. Many who have this mark report a strong sense of knowing, almost as if they can predict things before they happen. Deep empathy, being able to feel what others are going through without them saying a word. A pull toward spiritual understanding, a feeling that life has a greater meaning. Does this sound like you? If so, you are not alone. In the Bible, many leaders and prophets had strong intuition, which helped them guide their people. Joseph interpreted dreams that foretold the future. Daniel was given wisdom to understand divine mysteries. Jesus himself knew the thoughts of those around him before they spoke. Intuition is often described as a whisper from God, a way for the Holy Spirit to guide us. But here's the key: you must learn to listen. If you've been ignoring your inner voice, it's time to start paying attention. Perhaps the M on your palm is a reminder that you are meant to be more in tune with divine wisdom. A mark of spiritual responsibility. Are you ready for it? If the M is truly a divine marking, then it's not just a symbol, it's a responsibility. In the Bible, those who were chosen had to make a choice. Moses had to step forward and lead, despite his fears. Jonah tried to run from his calling but eventually accepted it. Esther had to risk her life to fulfill her destiny. The question is, what will you do with this knowledge? Will you ignore the signs, dismissing them as meaningless? Or will you embrace your purpose, realizing that you have been called for a reason? Remember, many are called, but few choose to answer. The M on your palm could be more than a coincidence. It could be a divine invitation to step into your purpose. So what will you do next? Stay with me, because in the next part, we will explore what this mark means for your personal destiny and how you can unlock its full meaning. The deeper meaning behind the M on your palm. Throughout history, signs and symbols have played a profound role in human understanding. From ancient civilizations to biblical teachings, people have sought meaning in the physical world, interpreting natural occurrences as messages from a higher power. Could the M on your palm be one of these divine signs? What if this small yet powerful marking is a reminder of your spiritual journey, your unique destiny, and the hidden wisdom encoded in your very being? Let's take a step further into this mystery and examine how this mark might align with your purpose, your path, and the greater plan that has been unfolding since the beginning of time. A sign of divine favor? In the Bible, God often uses physical marks to set individuals apart for a special purpose. We see this with Cain, whose mark was a sign of divine protection, Genesis 4 verse 15, and with the Israelites, who were given laws to set them apart from the nations around them. Could the M on your palm be a personal sign that you have been chosen for something greater? Many believe that those with this marking possess a heightened sense of intuition, wisdom, and leadership. These traits mirror the qualities of biblical figures who were called to guide, heal, and inspire others. Could it be that this mark is a reflection of a deeper calling, a spiritual imprint reminding you of the gifts placed within you? A connection to spiritual insight. One of the most fascinating aspects of this marking is its connection to heightened intuition. Those who have the M often describe feeling a deep inner knowing, a sense of clarity when making decisions, an ability to read situations, or even a gift for guiding others toward truth. This aligns with biblical teachings on discernment, the ability to understand and interpret spiritual truths. Proverbs 3 verses 5 to 6 tells us, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to him, and he will make your paths straight." Discernment is a divine gift, and those who possess it are often called to serve in ways that help others navigate through life's uncertainties. Have you ever had moments where you just knew something was right or wrong, even before seeing any evidence? That inner voice may not be coincidence. It could be a gift, one that you are meant to cultivate and use for a greater purpose. The call to leadership and influence. From Moses to Solomon, the Bible is filled with individuals who were called to lead, often when they least expected it. Many of them felt unworthy or unprepared, yet they were chosen for something significant. Moses doubted himself, saying, "Who am I that I should go to Pharaoh and bring the Israelites out of Egypt?" Exodus 3 verse 11. Yet, God had already equipped him with everything he needed. Solomon, when given the chance to ask for anything, chose wisdom over riches and power. As a result, he became known as one of the greatest leaders in history. If you carry the M on your palm, could it be that you, too, are being called to influence others in a meaningful way? Leadership doesn't always mean standing in front of crowds. It can be about guiding a family, mentoring a friend, or being a light in your community. Sometimes, the greatest leaders are those who lead by quiet example. Do you feel this resonates with you? Have you ever experienced moments where you felt guided, protected, or called to something greater? Stay with me as we explore how this marking may be a divine invitation to step fully into your destiny. Embracing your divine calling. As we come to the end of this journey, one question remains. What will you do with this knowledge? The M on your palm is more than just a natural marking. It's a symbol, a sign, a reminder that you are part of something greater. Whether you see it as a divine message, a mark of leadership, or a sign of heightened intuition, one thing is clear. You are not here by accident. All throughout history, those who were chosen for great purposes often carried unique signs, both physical and spiritual. From Moses to Solomon, from prophets to healers, they all had moments of doubt, yet they embraced their calling. Could this mark be a reminder that you, too, have been set apart? The power of recognizing your purpose. The Bible teaches us that God places unique gifts within each of us. Romans 12 verse 6 reminds us, "We have different gifts, according to the grace given to each of us." Your intuition, your wisdom, your ability to guide and inspire, these are not random. They are part of your divine design. The M on your palm may be a physical representation of the gifts you've been given, a call to step into the purpose meant for you. But knowing this is only the first step. What truly matters is what you do with this knowledge. Your next step. Now that you've uncovered the mystery behind this mark, the real question is, how will you use this gift? Will you start paying attention to your intuition, trusting the inner guidance that has always been there? Will you embrace your role as a leader, whether in your family, community, or personal journey? Will you seek wisdom, just as Solomon did, and use it to make a positive impact in the world? The choice is yours. Final reflection. The greatest journeys begin with a single step. The greatest callings often come with uncertainty. But those who embrace their divine purpose find fulfillment beyond measure. So, I leave you with this thought. What if this mark has been there all along, waiting for you to notice it, waiting for you to step into your destiny? If this message resonated with you, take a moment to share your thoughts in the comments. Have you ever noticed the M on your palm? Do you believe it holds meaning in your life? And if you want to continue uncovering the mysteries of faith, purpose, and divine signs, make sure to subscribe to the channel, like this video, and share it with someone who needs to hear this message. Thank you for joining me on this exploration. Remember, you are chosen for something greater. Will you answer the call? Until next time, stay blessed and stay open to the signs around you.